Bingo. You got it. New World Order. Creation in the making. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And it was good. What's up, energy? I just want to get into it because we're still on the self. And y'all know I like to talk about me because I love me. That's what they be saying. I love me some me. We about to see. We're about to see. So, getting into her. This is how we're going. Okay, so the truth I'm about to reveal to you right now is not a concept that you readily understand and know to be common knowledge or common sense. So this is going to be a concept that you need to try to grasp so that you get everything that you need to know that you don't already know, because I know that you think you know, but you do not. So, the truth about love and hate is there is a very, very thin line between love and hate. There is also a very thin line between hate and fear. But if we look at this from a shape and form, as we do, and when we talk about star love, is there is a triangle, there is a connection between these three, and in between these three, I don't want you to see only polar opposites, just a connection. Okay, so as it is, the true opposite of love is not hate. It is fear. Vibrationally, the opposite of love is fear. When it comes to the self, and you're talking about the self, you got to realize that everything is energy, and everything that is energy has a vibrational frequency. So, you have your conscience that is split in two. And one side is like left brain, and one side is like right brain. And these two sides are always competing. So, it's which side that you listen to, which side that you trust, that tells you the truth that you believe. Ergo, air. Here we go. Okay, so to break this down a little bit, I need you to understand that self-love is when you always come with the intent to love and be loved without wanting or needing anything in return. Okay, so when you treat yourself in this way, you're going to not only be giving, but receiving that energy. Okay, so when you treat yourself in the way of self-hate, self-hate is the part of you that is going to be very egotistical, and it's going to be the part of yourself that's going to tell you what you shouldn't do, what you can't do, because it loves you, because it's trying to protect you. But really, what that notion is going to do is it's going to make you become closed-minded and very judgmental towards what is truth as it is. And then you're going to shape and mold truth into what you believe, or a belief, a thought, an idea, or an emotion, which is going to be the feelings that you are in, and it's going to become the vibrational frequency that you use to attract more of what you are. Now, with this triangle, I want you to see how the energy flows through from love to hate to fear and back to love. Love, hate, fear. So, you got three measures of yourself: your head, your heart, and your gut, that are all reacting and responding to these energies internally, not externally. There's no part of you that is external that is reacting or responding. Okay, that is all you. That is all choice. Okay, so when there is something that is actually, truthfully recognizable as self-love, you're going to be able to feel yourself with that energy. When there is actually something that is truthfully recognizable as self-hate, you're going to recognize that energy, and you're going to feel yourself with that. And then there is the same with self-fear. When it's truthfully and actually recognizable, you're going to feel yourself with that. So your levels of love, hate, and fear are going to make up an emotional body for you. That's going to be a part of your vehicle that goes wherever you go, like some kind of spirit guide. And right now, I want you to understand that the self-hate is the little devil on your shoulder that is, you know what I'm saying, making it sound good, but you probably shouldn't trust it. And every time that you do, you have to endure some type of life lesson, something that you actually need to learn. So you also have to realize that when you do trust this entity, this spirit or whatever, directing you or guiding you, it's leading you right into the space where you actually need to be for growth, because this is what you want, this is what you need, whether you know it consciously or subconsciously. Okay, and this is always going to be until it is finished, and then you move on from that to the next thing. So however much of these energies that you have, is it's gonna be like like let's say you were playing a game and you're fighting yourself as yourself, and you are fighting yourself, like your shadow self, I guess you could say, like another you, and you're fighting yourself in the game, and you have this life level and this power level, and your little special move or whatever. Okay, so you got this going, and these are all like levels of love, trust, and oneness. And your love is going to be your power move, and your trust is going to be your life level. As your trust goes down, you end up losing the fight, because what's going to happen is you either trust the fear within yourself, and then your other self, your shadow self, wins, or you're going to trust yourself and you're going to be confident within yourself, and you are going to win. Whichever way it goes, is not going to be just simply about skill level, because you can have skills and jump in the fight with the energy of fear, or the vibration of fear, or a very high fear-like, doubt-like, disbelief-like, you know what I'm saying, frequency, and lose. However, as the same character with the same powers, the same skill set, and the same moves, you can also jump in the fight confidently with a very high self-esteem, and you know what I'm saying, a very positive vibration, and win. Even if the win comes by what seems like luck. Because you have that aspect about yourself working, you're going to win. You're going to win. Now, I'm talking to you about all this without going into the details of why you are the way you are, based on your name, your zodiac sign, your natal chart, your life path number, or anything like that. The only thing I'm talking about, as far as God is concerned, is the self, which means, in this case, the you that you believe you are, not the you that I say that you are, or anyone else has convinced you to believe you are, or the you that you believe that you've convinced everyone else to believe that you are. I'm talking about just your personal beliefs in you as a being, as the star in your movie, because you are, just as God is. We are. Now, I'm gonna give you a little example of what brought this to my mind, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I was talking with Beautiful earlier today, and she was telling me that there was this person that was recorded on video abusing a infant, a baby who couldn't, do anything for itself, that had no choice but to depend on whoever was there to, do for it. And this is the reason why I wanted to go into that, because at any stage that you feel like you are, doesn't really matter about the feeling of it. Because the reality is going to come like this. If you are a child of God, as I am a child of the moon, you know what I'm saying? You go through all these same stages spiritually as you do physically, in the way that you look, your size, your height, your weight, all that, your level of intelligence, so far and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But you're spiritually, it is a level of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And when you're an infant, you are completely dependent on whatever seems to be in the external world versus what is being reflected back in your internal world. So, as an infant, if you are abused as an infant, you're going to learn real early not to trust. And not only are you going to learn not to trust, but you're going to learn a whole lot of self-hate, because you're going to feel you are not worthy of love because you were abused like early on. Even if it only happens once. Once the damage is done and you have that scar, the only way to reprogram your mind from that is to be able to go back to that time and deal with how that felt and realize that you were either in self-love, self-hate, or self-fear. And that created a way for you. Okay, now, the other part is the person who was okay with abusing this child. And, you know what I'm saying? Now, I have no problem just doing it. And, you know what I'm saying? That person probably already had a lot of the same thing happen in their life. And, you know what I'm saying? So, doing this was the way. Like, it was okay because it was already embedded in this person's mind that abuse means love. So the idea of love is looked at like this: the person who will hurt me is the person who loves me more than the person who won't, the person who doesn't. So, you know what I'm saying, from that perspective, it was very much okay to be abusive to an infant child. And I guarantee, if you have that mindset when it comes to discipline, whether you have really good self-discipline or bad self-discipline, is going to be the truth about this. But when it comes to discipline, if you're raising a child, you're going to be a very bad disciplinary. You're going to be a bad teacher, because first off, you're going to teach them the things that is going to catapult them into a life of pain. And, you know what I'm saying, I also want to touch on that subject too, because, you know what I'm saying, this is something else that we have misunderstood, because it's been taught to us that pain is love. And it most certainly is not. No one loves pain that has a very high level of self-love, self-trust, and self-oneness. Someone who loves pain or likes to be tortured has a very high tolerance for pain, one, and they've learned that, you know what I'm saying, this is the only way they know that they are loved, is to, you know what I'm saying, be dominated, abused, and hurt. And, you know what I'm saying, this doesn't just come like as an excitement and fulfillment for them, like a fantasy. Just, you know what I'm saying, in relationships where they usually end up in very abusive relationships, whether it's physical abuse, verbal abuse, or mental abuse. But in the bedroom, they like this domination, this choke me, this, you know what I'm saying, this hurt me, this beat it up, and all of that actually has nothing to do with making love. But once it does have to do with making love, then that just means that your idea of love has been mixed with what's been embedded in your mind that abuse is love, like pain is love. And really, this is more the vibration of hate. This is self-hate. So, you know what I'm saying? Self-hate and self-love, because they can be shaped and formed in a way that seem the same, they are not opposites. They are very much connected, but they are not opposites. They are both connected to self-fear. And, you know what I'm saying? Self-fear is the furthest connection from self-love. That's what makes it truly the opposite of love and not hate. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? This is where we go into the part where, back in the video, because Beautiful was very angry when she was seeing this happening. And, you know what I'm saying? I said, that seems like a moment where you should ask yourself, why does that make you feel angry when you see that? Because for me, it was more of a problem just to see it. So, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm looking at it like, how is it okay for the person who wasn't the infant or the person who wasn't doing the abuse to be okay with just recording this? Like, how can you hold the camera and watch that happen and not do nothing? Like, what is in your mind that makes it okay for you to be like, yeah, this is cool, let's record this infant abuse, this child abuse right now, but this is what the world needs. this is this is what's wrong right now. These children don't get enough they don't get enough whoopings. They ain't been hurt bad enough so they can learn. like the only way you can learn is through pain. And I'm telling you, that's only one way for you to learn. There's a whole lot of ways for you to learn, because I guarantee if there wasn't, when you go to school, you'd have to get ready for S&M. Like, you'd be working with the dominatrix in this motherfucker. At school, learning math and English, and science and reading. What? Okay. So, I'm sorry, but these motherfuckers are crazy and they be calling me. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that, because, you know what I'm saying, it's a really thin line between love and hate, and we need to understand and realize the true opposite of of love is not hate. It is fear. On that note, spirits take care of your bodies, bodies take care of your spirits, and be the light that you are. Namaste.